California State Water Project is the nation's largest state-built water and power development and conveyance system and supplies water to 25 million Californians and 750,000 acres of irrigated farmland. The California State Water Project is a water storage and delivery system of reservoirs, aqueducts, power plants, and pumping plants. Its main purpose is to store water and distribute it to 29 urban and agricultural water suppliers in Northern California, the San Francisco Bay Area, the San Joaquin Valley, the Central Coast, and Southern California. The project is also operated to improve water quality in the Delta, control Feather River floodwaters, provide recreation, and enhance fish and wildlife. Today, the project includes 34 storage facilities, reservoirs, and lakes, 20 pumping plants, 4 pumping generating plants, 5 hydroelectric power plants, and about 701 miles of open canals and pipelines.
The reason this project was started was because in Southern California the population was growing rapidly and they had minimal water resources for the region, so they needed a new way to get enough water to that region. At first, the government tried to dam up Northern California rivers and carry the water southward through tunnels and canals. This plan was quickly abandoned, though, because of the potential impacts this would have on the wildlife in the rivers. In 1959, the state began damming up the Feather River, a tributary of the Sacramento River. After this, they kept building facilities such as dams and aqueducts more south in order to get the water all the way down to Southern California. After over 10 years of construction in 1973, the first water from the California State Water Project finally reached Southern California. The whole project started out costing taxpayers an initial investment of around $1.75 billion. By 2001, about $5.2 billion had been spent to construct SWP facilities.
The California Water Project was beneficial for a lot of reasons, mainly that it was able to provide water to California and its southern urban areas, which had been in water shortages for a long period of time. But this large-scale operation ended up having a lot of effects that were overlooked at the beginning. And despite the benefit of having water in these different areas and for different large-scale agriculture in the South, building dams and other things really put a strain on a lot of environmental things going on in the area. Another large problem with the California State Water Project was the allocation of the water after it had been processed. Initially, in the early years in the 1970s, the project operated with a surplus. Many of the urban areas that they had thought were going to use a lot of water, in fact, didn't use as much as they had planned, so that water then got rerouted to other places. Namely, it got put to use in the Southern California's large-scale agriculture. The rest of the water was pumped out. They hadn't planned to have the water, so they didn't have good places to store it.
The allocations of water from the project are slowly rising because in December 2015, the State Water Project expected to allocate only 10% of the supplies from the water next year. The project has not delivered 100% of water needs since 2006. Recently, the EPA and federal government have put aside $182 million for water projects in California. In most recent news, there is an increase in allocations of water up to 30% for most recipients. However, the looming drought is ever present and a reduction in allocations is extremely close in California.